There are many things I say with some frequency, one of which is live and learn. I tell you, that's what we are all about around this place. And I'm getting ready to learn a whole lot right now with our next guest joining me in studio. He is a holistic health coach.
Yes.
We're going to find out exactly what that is. It's so nice to say hello to Kevin Reese. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, it's great to be here.
It is nice
Namaste.
It is, yes, thank you. Thank you. Peace, correct?
Sure.
Is that what that means, peace?
Oh, it's a greeting.
It's a greeting,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. It's nice to meet you in person. We have
Absolutely.
communicated but have not met before, so thank you for coming in. Let us start by my asking you exactly what a holistic health coach is, because it's something that I certainly have been hearing about, reading about,
Yeah.
have had the pleasure of talking with a few over the past maybe 2 years or so.
Right.
But not longer than that.
Yeah, it's a big boom on the scene right now, and we play a very special function, and that's we work with our clients. We work on their mind, body, and soul. So it's not just dietary, okay? Somebody may have problems in their relationship. Somebody may not be where they want to be in their career. Somebody may need to work on their spirituality a little more. Maybe they have a sleeping issue, okay? You can have the greatest diet in the world, but guess what? If you're not sleeping, you got a problem.
Because it's all connected.
It's all connected. It's the
all
balance.
connected.
It's balance of life. That's what we do. We try to bring balance to our clients with the overall mind, body, and soul. And another thing is, we're not tellers. We're teachers. So, I'm teaching my clients. When my client is done with me, they will have lifetime knowledge, lifetime skills, and lifetime habits that they can now move forward without me, hopefully, without me.
And that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Because you can't be with everyone all the time.
No.
Even you can't be with everyone all of the time.
I can't.
I understand that you have your own story,
Mm-hmm.
your own personal journey in
Yeah.
terms of having lost a lot of weight and
Yeah.
giving up smoking. Talk about that. When did you wake up, figuratively speaking, and
2000
say to yourself,
Yeah.
well, I better make some changes?
2008, I had a massive anxiety attack. And I said to myself, I didn't know it was an anxiety attack at the time. I thought it was a heart attack, right?
Oh my.
And
Pretty scary.
very scary.
And you were how old?
Oh, 28,
Young man.
27, 28. And I thought that I was having a heart attack. I was chain smoking cigarettes.
Oh boy.
And eating very poorly and no exercise, and I have a history of cancer and diabetes in my family, and I said to myself, this is it. All right, this is it. And I found out later that it was an anxiety attack, and I suffered with some symptoms for a while, and I realized that you have to start taking care of your temple. You have to start taking care of your avatar. You have to start taking care of yourself. You only have one body. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get a second body. So I just woke up and realized that the world's crazy. Sometimes we're not in control of everything, but the one thing that we are in control of is our machine. We have two machines. We have a brain and we have a body. And believe me when I tell you, they are incredible machines. And they work beautifully. When you wake up in the morning, you don't say, lungs, breathe. You don't say, okay, heart, go ahead, beat, okay, stop. No, it does it on its own. So once you realize that concept, you can now feed that body and give it what it needs. And I just made these changes and ended up falling in love with it.
I'm sorry, certainly, that you had those challenges, that you had to go through that in terms of that scare, and it must have been just that. But now that you've turned the corner in such a successful way, how wonderful that you now understand that, you now get that, you embrace that, because as we all know, a lot of people much older than you haven't yet.
You're absolutely right, and I have this unbelievable opportunity to change things around. I mean, things change when you hit 30, right? You hit 30 and it's a wake-up call for anybody. So, I'm so excited to just take my 30s and just blow it out of the water. I want the 30s to just be incredible.
He's gonna hit it right out of the park.
Because I'm in the best shape of my life right now. And
you certainly seem to be.
And I'm 33 years old. And I'm in better shape than I was at 23. So, I hope that somebody can be inspired to wake up and make changes. I don't care if you're 63. It doesn't matter if you're 83. Just wake up and realize that your body is a machine and you only have one. That's it. You can have 5 cars, you can have 4 mansions, but you only get one temple. That's it. That's it.
You can even have a whole bunch of loves of your life,
That's right.
but only one
Sure.
body.
That's it.
Speaking with holistic health coach Kevin Reese. Do
Yes.
check out his website, kevinwreese, REESE.com. You know, as well as I do, Kevin, that there is so much confusing, conflicting information out there in the media, things we hear, things we read in terms of we should be doing this, the next day, no, you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing something else, nutritionally and so on. What do you think, with the many folks who you work with, what is one of the bigger areas of confusion that you'd like to talk about today? You know, is it, let's start with nutrition, and I know you cover much more than that.
Right.
But if you could snap your fingers and have everyone follow one of your nutrition tips, what
Yeah.
would that be? What do you think is most important that we're just not getting?
If I had to pinpoint it and really simplify it down, then I'm going to say lots of fruit, lots of leafy greens, and lots of water. Start there. The problem, vegetables, is too broad of a word. It's way too broad of a word. We gotta just get rid of the word. Leafy greens is what we need to be eating. And fruit is fuel. It's a carb. It comes from the word carbon. It's a fuel. It's the energy. It has energy. It has electricity. We need to be eating lots of fruit with a balance of leafy greens and, of course, the water.
How about whole grains?
Whole grains
Where
are
do you put them on the list of things that you really want people to be eating regularly?
whole grains. I would put my clients on whole grains, certainly, but there are people out there. I'm very connected with the raw food movement, and raw foodies, they don't eat grains because they're not sprouted. You see, they're not alive yet. Okay, when the tail comes out and you sprout it and it goes through that germination, now it's alive. So yes, oatmeal is good. Yes, the brown rice is better than the white rice. Yes, and certainly I would put my clients on these things on a 6-month program, but I also have a detoxification program, 100 days. Most people would consider extreme, and there's no grains. It's raw.
Is there meat?
No.
No. So there's never, is meat even on your list?
I have clients that eat meat, and I have to work with their needs. I customize programs around my clients, but I don't eat meat, and
At all?
no. I would advise anyone not to, but I understand that people will. So I'm not gonna say, I'm not working with you. I will work with you, but it's all about eating the sunlight. You got to eat the sunlight,
And that's what your T-shirt says.
that's what my T-shirt says.
Eat the sunlight.
Eat the sunlight. It's a lifestyle. It's a movement. It's a philosophy, and if people can grasp that philosophy, your life will change. Eat the sunlight. The sun gives life. The sun gives life, right? So that chlorophyll, man. Those greens, the plants. Eat a plant-based diet. If you're gonna eat meat, cool. Moderation, please. If you're eating meat every day, you're in trouble. I'm telling you right now. And dairy. You're
Dairy. We're in trouble if we eat a lot of dairy. Now, almond milk is not dairy, correct?
but it's processed.
But it's processed. Because I have almond milk every day.
Yeah, I
So
usually.
you would not want me to have, or anyone, to have almond milk every day.
Well, I would salute you for having almond milk over cow's milk. But, would I take almond milk off of your meal plan? No, not necessarily. It depends on you. It all depends on the client. It's all about customizing around the client, and and maybe taking something out and putting something in.
Can you stay with us?
Of course.
Going to take a break. Would like to come back because we're not done with you yet, Kevin.
Good.
We have a lot more questions, a lot more things to talk
Sure.
about with our holistic health coach,
Yes.
Kevin Reese. Do check out his website, KevinWReese, REESE.com.
Can I go do cartwheels outside?
Yeah.
What, are we
You
taking a
can.
break?
We're taking a break. You go
Okay.
do a cartwheel right down the hallway.
Because that's what happens when you eat the sunlight. You just want to do cartwheels down the hall.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. This is Mary Jones. Hope you're having a fabulous Monday. We're right here with you on the Talk of Connecticut. Mind, body, spirit, they are all connected. And how wonderful that most of us recognize that these days. Speaking with holistic health coach Kevin Reese. Kevin, thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for
You have
having
your
me.
Eat the Sunlight t-shirt on. You're drinking, my goodness, that bottle of water you're carting around.
Yeah.
You have to be in good shape to lift that into your mouth.
A gallon a day. Gallon a day is.
Really? Is that what you recommend for everyone?
I would recommend. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone is different, but
Is that dependent upon one's weight? I mean, someone who weighs, let's say, 125, should that person drink any different amount of water than someone who weighs 200?
I wouldn't say so. I would determine it based on your exercise, right? If you're in the cardio and you're out there sweating, yeah, you need a lot of water because you're
Okay.
getting rid of water, right? But if you do nothing, then maybe you don't need as much. But people are dehydrated out there. They need to. What you could do is just pinch your hand
I've heard that. You pick the skin on the
on your
the
hand
top
and
of
lift
your
it up,
hand
and if it goes right back into place, you got plenty of water.
Do yours. I want to see yours. Oh my, look at this. I have to pick it up. Well, not too bad.
Not
but
too
it's-
bad. You need a
but I
little
have-
more.
I have a little ways to go, though. Tony, how you doing with your arm, hand, skin? Oh, Tony's going back.
He's okay. He's
Do
all
you-
right.
Tony, do you drink a lot of water? Really?
Yeah.
Well, he does. He works out all the time.
Yeah,
as you can tell.
water's good.
Juicing.
Yeah,
I know juicing is a very popular,
yeah.
kind of trendy thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are different kind of juicing programs. I think the term juicing has begun to mean different things to different people.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on juicing?
I think juicing is absolutely essential. It's a major part of my programs. It's a major part of what I do. But let's be specific. Green juice. Green juice. You don't want to juice fruit because the sugar is going to spike your blood sugar, okay?
See, I bet most people don't know that.
Right. So you want to drink your veggies and eat your fruit. Because when you eat your fruit, it doesn't spike your blood sugar because the fiber slows it down.
Really?
Yeah. So any parents out there, please stop giving your children the little fruit juice boxes.
Oh.
You're spiking their blood sugar. It is not good for them. If you're going to give them juice, it needs to be green. Green. I know most kids, ew, green, but throw an apple or two in there just to give it some sweetness. But you want to be drinking your leafy greens. These are micronutrients that are going to go right into your bloodstream.
So you're talking kale,
Kale, spinach, chard. Let's go to the herbs. Basil, cilantro, arugula, dandelion greens. Flush it right out.
Is there anything that you recommend that we put in that to sweeten it a little bit? Or no, you just drink it and just deal with the way it tastes?
Yeah, I usually put a few green apples in there, and some ginger, about the size of your thumb.
But no, like agave, little nectar.
You could throw some agave in
That
there.
wouldn't be a bad thing.
It wouldn't be a bad thing. Is it going to taste spectacular? No. But if you want the fake stuff, then go to the store and buy it. This is not fake, this is real. You're not drinking it for the taste. Let's get out of that mind frame. We're not drinking it for the taste. Let's make it bearable enough to guzzle it.
That statement right there is a very significant one.
Yeah.
That because I think we're all about convenience, aren't we? We're all about taste, and when we think and talk about taste, the sweetness is probably what most people want most of the time.
Right.
And if we stop thinking of it in that light and start thinking about it, and this is what I know you're all about, Kevin, in terms of we're fueling our body.
That's right.
We're drinking something that is good for us. That's what it's about,
That's what it's
not
about.
to make it taste like the most yummy thing we ever had.
And we're healing. We're healing. See, we're made of trillions of cells. That's what we are. Let's simplify it. Birds and bees. Let's take health and make it birds and bees, okay? You're trillions of cells. And those cells need to be fed. And the cells, they want the leafy greens and they want the fruit. And if you juice the leafy greens, it's going right to the cells. You're feeding the cells. And it's when those cells start going a little crazy, and that's where tumors come in, you know? So you have to feed your cells, and your cells love sunlight.
Eat the sunlight.
Eat the sunlight. Just take the
Like,
philosophy.
Is that your like motto? Is that something you came up with on your own? Eat the sunlight?
I did come up with it. It's just a
I like
philosophy.
it.
Thank you. It's really picking up. We have a Facebook group, and people are supporting each other on Facebook. And it's not only what you eat; it's also doing what you do when the sun is up. Okay, people, stop working these third shifts. Stop taking meetings at 9 p.m. at night. Stop it. Stop it. The sun goes down, you go down. The sun goes down, wind down. Have a small little supper. Supper, short for supplemental, right? Have a small little dinner. Just enough to go to sleep. And now you're going to fast until you wake up the next day.
So the old adage, and this really is an old one in terms of eat breakfast like a king,
Yes.
lunch like a prince,
Right.
dinner like a pauper, is that
Yes,
right?
or a peasant, yes.
Or a peasant, so you adhere to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a Ayurvedic kind of philosophy, you know, out in India. It makes sense. You are meant to do spectacular things while the sun is up.
Eat the sunlight.
That's right, and get sunlight too. That natural vitamin D.
Vitamin
too.
D.
That's right.
Speaking with holistic health coach Kevin Reese, one of the things that I think is so cool about all of this, that is very exciting, that actually, Kevin, gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And that is everything you're saying, I know is true. I mean, I know that we should all be living that way. And it's something that we can do. It's something that we have the power to do. It's not dependent upon other things, other people. We can make those changes in our life. That is so exciting.
Yeah. To just take some discipline, right?
Well, yeah, there is that. But it's up to us. If you're committed, it's up to us.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you about
You can ask me anything you want.
genetically modified organisms? Am
Bad
I correct?
stuff.
GMOs.
Yeah,
they have been
GMOs.
in the news a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot about them other than it is bad stuff.
Yeah, you know, I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. I have an interview series on YouTube called Mortal Missions, and I just interviewed Jeffrey Smith, who is a world authority on GMOs, and so he could give much more knowledge than I can. But the basis of it is, in the mid '90s, they decided to mass produce food. And that's what it comes down to, is corporations, they want to mass produce the food because they want the profit, right?
Yes.
So now scientists are in a lab genetically modifying things. It's not even real. But what are we doing? And then and then, you ready for this? Meat eaters, listen up. The animals you're eating are being fed genetically modified food because they can't keep up. Because meat is such a priority in this country, for whatever reason, the cows are eating GMO cornmeal.
So it's not even real cornmeal that's going into our animals.
Right.
So when we eat those cows,
Yes.
we are eating the chemicals that they've consumed.
Yes.
And that's not good.
That's not good, and we're not
That's
even
not good.
and we're not even counting the antibiotics that they're doing to plump them up. You know, chickens are growing faster now. Chickens are becoming like 60, 70 pounds. Their little frames can't support 60 or 70 pounds, so they're walking around suffering. But that's okay. Let's go have some baked chicken for dinner. You know, and they're pumped full of hormones, and it's all because we as a society love eating animals. And it's just this
I know.
huge circle.
I know.
And it's all business. It's just business. It's big business. So we,
And there is the whole ethical side of that as well.
and that's the main reason why I don't eat meat. You know, it's it's a karmic thing, a moral thing. It's against my code. It doesn't mean that you can't. Like I said, I have clients that do. I would just advise anyone to limit your consumption of animal protein. Eat it 2-3 times a week, not 2-3 times a day, 2-3 times a week, okay? And maybe eat more, fish, because you got the omegas, and it's much better for you. But you are what you eat. We've heard that before.
Yes.
Right? Well, if you are what you eat, then you must be what your animals eat too, because you're eating the animal that ate something else.
So we're about fruits. We're about vegetables.
Yes.
We're about eating the sunlight,
Yes.
as you say.
Yes.
We're about eating
Just like a gorilla.
just like a gorilla. Things that come from nature.
Yes.
Things that are not processed, that are not
That's right.
manufactured,
Yes.
that are natural,
We're the only.
that are raw.
Yes. We're these remarkable mammals with incredible brains. But the other mammals, the other mammals on Earth, they don't cook their food. When's the last time you saw a lion take out a little stove and be like, all right, let's cook up this zebra? It doesn't happen. We're also the only animals that pay to live here. I'm still trying to figure out that one. Why are we paying rent? Do lions pay rent? Do gorillas pay rent? Okay? So, it's like we're just different than the other animals, but that doesn't mean that what we eat should be different. We shouldn't be eating this fake food, right? What's a dog do when it has a stomachache? It eats grass. You can teach your dog to give paw, to sit, to roll over, to bark, to do tricks, but you can't teach it to eat grass. It just knows. I have a stomachache, I'm going to eat this grass.
It'll make me feel better.
And a cow eats grass too. A cow naturally wants to eat grass. So let's cut out the middleman. Okay, cow, go over in the corner, chill out, have a good time. I'm going to leave you alone, scratch you behind the ear, you're all good. And let me eat the greens, because the cow is eating the greens. And if we need the cows for protein, well, what does the cow eat for protein? These are just questions that somebody needs to...
These are questions. We're out of time. Unfortunately, Kevin Reese,
All right.
KevinWReese.com. Kevin, thank you for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
So appreciate the information. Eating the sunlight, that's what Kevin is all about. Your
Yeah.
website is the best way for folks to follow up with you.
Sure, KevinWReese.com, and then check
All
out
right.
the Eat the Sunlight on Facebook.
Kevin, thank you so much. We'll stay in touch. Fascinating stuff. I
Thank
tell
you.
you, eating that sunlight, I love it. This is Mary Jones. We'll be right back. We're on the Talk of Connecticut. A very, very happy Monday to you.
Connecticut, WDRC AM and WDRC
All right.
FM.
All right.